Hello and welcome back to another edition of Rabbi Stein's PPE. Here we are. We find ourselves Shabbos of Parsha Shemos, the Parsha that begins the Geula, the ultimate redemption of the Jewish people from the hands of Egypt, from the Mitzrayim, and ultimately will become the journey of Matan Torah, the receiving of the Torah, and what should become the absolute growth and purpose of the Jewish people. Yet, I have a very hard time talking about the Parsha with the current events happening right now in the world. And we see ourselves on the brink of a negotiation, of a ceasefire, of a hostage deal, whatever we want to call it. And it's really kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Create a chasm of popular opinion. Now, I think it's important to remember the following. I am in no way advocating either side of this arrangement. And if anything, I think it's more important that we remind ourselves, look, there are two major driving factors and emotionally charged sides to this equation. There are people who want their loved ones home. There are people who want closure. And we can't negate what those people are feeling just to be able to hug their loved ones once again. And that is coupled with, or that is diametrically opposed with, this idea of creating a ceasefire, potentially allowing Hamas to replenish, restock, and rearm itself for the next time something, God forbid, like this were to happen. And there are two very rational approaches to this whole thing, and we have to respect each other's opinion because, again, everyone has a different side, a different feeling of what drives them, more or less, in this whole perspective. What I can tell you is the following. The Jewish people, while they were in the land of Egypt, they had almost given up hope. They were about to abandon all hope. Chazal teaches that they were on the 49th level of Tumah, the lowest level of impurity, and they were about to abandon hope. They held on to a few things. They held on to their names, they held on to their clothing, and they held on to their language. They held on to a few elements of their heritage that kept them the Bnei Israel. Now, what happens next is Amram, he had left his wife because he felt, what's the point of having children? The Mitzrayim are hunting for pregnant women. They're hunting for babies. And why should I? Why should I bring another child into this bleak and despairing world? But yet he understood. Miriam, his daughter, said, she looked at the stars and she knew that the Mashiach was going to come. So he remarried his wife. The rest of Klal Yisrael also remarried their wives, and they began to become reaffirmed in their emunah. My friends, at this historic juncture in time, at this part of current events, we have to restore and reaffirm our emunah in Hashem, that Hashem is ultimately the one pulling the strings. And if we believe wholeheartedly in that, we'll have what's called Tzipiyah Yeshua. We'll be yearning and anticipating the ultimate redemption. My friends, we should only know good things and share each other's smachot. And with that, a Shabbat Shalom.